Okay, let's go to page 487 and let's go and do the odds. So number 1, you have square root of 36 square. So the square and square root cancel out, so answer would be 36, and that's it. So let's go to number 3. You have the square root of a plus b, parentheses, square. Again, square and square root cancel out, so you just have a plus b, and that's it. Okay, let's go to number 5. You have square root of x to the 3. Now this one does not separate nicely. This one does not come out nicely. So you go and separate the good part and the leftover part. Right? So separate the good part, the perfect square part, and the leftover part. So this will give you x square root of x, and that's it. Okay, so separate, and this becomes the x, and this stays in the square root. Okay, let's go to number 7. You have square root of a to the 3, b to the 3. Okay, so again, let's go and separate the good part from the junky part. So you got square root of a squared and square root of a, square root of b squared and square root of b, right? So separate this into 2 parts. And so this part, I will get a from here. This part, I will get b. And the leftover would be just square root of a, b. And that's it. Now you want to kind of circle the parts so that way you can keep track of the what is being done. Okay, let's go to number 9. You have square root of 2 times square root of 32. So this one is not too bad if you multiply out, but usually you want to go and kind of break it down into parts. So square root of 2, this one you can break into 16 and 2, right? Because 16 is a perfect square, so that's fine. So now let's go and start to collect the parts. So this will give me a 4, and this 2 will give me a 2. So answer will be 8. So I can break into perfect square parts. Okay, let's go to number 11. Okay, square root of 180. So let's go and do the factoring method. So 180 divided by 2, I get 90. Divide by 2, I get 45. Cannot divide by 2 anymore, so let's do 3. I get 15. Divide by 3, I get 5. So these 2 radicands will give me an integer 2. These 2 radicands will give me an integer 3. And the leftover will give me the square root of 5. And now you work it out, so I get 6 square root of 5. Now let's go to 13. You have square root of 18 minus square root of 8. So again, you go up to the side to simplify each part. So square root of 18 divided by 2, I get 9. Divided by 3 and 3. So this will give me 3 square root of 2. Now let's go and do the 8. Divide by 2, I get 4. Divide by 2, I get 2. So these 2 radicands make an integer 2, and the leftover stays inside. So now you got 3 square root of 2 minus 2 square root of 2. You get 1 square root of 2. Okay. So let's go to 15. It's a fraction.
Ada Wang to the admissions office, please. Ada Wang to the admissions office.
Okay, so you got 1 over square root of 5. So to get rid of the square root from the denominator, you need to multiply by another radicand. The reason for that is so that you get 2 radicands, so you can make it into an integer 5, right? So you can 2 radicands, make an integer. On the top is whatever you get, and so that's it. Okay, let's go to 17. You have 6 over square root of 3. So again, you need to get rid of that square root. So you need to get 1 more radicand. So square root of 3, square root of 3. So these 2 radicands make an integer, and the top is 6 square root of 3. So notice that 6 and 3 can cancel out, right? So you can divide, so you get 2 square root of 3. Okay, and that's it for 17. Okay, let's go to number 19. You got square root of 8 minus square root of 1 over square root of 2. Okay, so square root of 8, we did this before already, but let's do this again. So factor by 2, so you get 4. Divide by 2, you get 2, right? So again, 2 radicands make an integer. So this is 2 square root of 2. Now this one over here, you need to go and multiply by square root of 2, square root of 2, right? So this becomes square root of 2 on the top, the bottom you get 2, right? So now you have fraction, you have to subtract fraction. So put it over 1 so we can get the common denominator. So again, when you're doing a fraction, make sure you do these. So you get the common denominator first. Always get the bottom ready. Okay, so from here, you need to multiply by 2. So you're going to get 4 square root of 2. Over here, you don't do anything. And so now when you subtract, you get 3 square root of 2 over 2. Okay, let's go to 21. You have 2 square root of 2 times square root of 8 plus square root of 18. In this case, I guess you can go and multiply out if you want to. Or you can simplify each one first. Okay, it doesn't matter. You can do either way. Now, this one, if you multiply, give you a perfect square, then it's easy if you do that. Okay? So if you do that in this case, that's fine. So if you multiply, you get square root of 16. Multiply, you get square root of 36. And all these are easy to simplify. Now, if it's not a perfect square, then you probably don't want to do this one. Okay? So you got 4 plus 6, so you get 10. Okay, let's go to 21. Or 23. Let's go to 23. Okay, you got 2 square root of 3 plus 1 square. So remember, you have to do the FOIL method, right? So you square the 2, you get 4. Square the square root of 3, you get 3. Square the plus, you get plus. Square the 1, you get 1. Okay, now you have to do the FOIL method, you have to do the inside. Right? Again, this is FOIL, right? So you need to so remember your middle. So multiply 2 times 1 is 2, times 2 is 4, square root of 3, right? So now you add this together, 3 times 4 is 12, plus 1 is 13. And that's it. Okay, so remember the FOIL, right? Okay, let's go to 25. You have 8 over square root of 3 minus 2. So now you got 2 terms. When you have 2 terms, you need to multiply by 2 terms. You need to multiply by conjugate. So that the bottom, it becomes 3 minus 4. And on the top, do not multiply the top. So write the top first. So this becomes 3 minus 4 is negative 1. So it's negative, can move anywhere. So it becomes, I'm going to move it to the top. And so now you can multiply after that. So it'll be negative 8 square root of 3 minus 16. Okay, and that's it. Okay, let's go to 27. You have square root of x equal to 4. So let's go and square both sides. Again, I'm going to preserve the original so I can use it to check. So I get x equal to 16, and let's go and check. Square root of 16 equal to 4. Yeah, so it's good. Okay, let's go to 29. You got square root of 2x minus 1 equal to 5. So I'm going to preserve my original, leave it alone, so I can use it to check my answers. So let's go and square both sides. Square and square root cancel out. 5 squared is 25. So let's go and solve. So plus 1 on both sides. So I get 2x equal to 26. Divide by 2, divide by 2. So x equal to 13. So I'm going to check. So square root of 2 times 13 minus 1 equal to 5. So square root of 25 equal to 5. It checks out, so that's good. Okay, let's go to 31. Square root of 7x minus 6 equal to x. Okay, so again, let's go and square to undo the square root. Right, so square both sides to undo the square root. So I get 7x minus 6 equal to x squared. Now, as soon as you see the square, you know that you have to do factoring. So minus 7x plus 6. So you can get 0 equal to x squared minus 7x plus 6. So let's go and do the master product. So I need to get -1 comma -6. Okay. Okay, so I got -1 -6. So I get x equal to 1 or x equal to 6. So now I need to check my answers. So I'm going to check for 1 first. So square root of 7 times 1 minus 6 equal to 1. So square root of 1 equal to 1. So it checks out. So this one is good. Now let's check the 6. So 7 times 6 minus 6 equal to 6. So square root of 42 minus 6 equal to 6. Square root of 36 equal to 6. Yeah, checks out. So both are good. Okay. Okay, let's go to number 33. Okay, you got square root of 2x plus 7 equal to square root of x plus 2. Okay, so again I need to I'm going to undo this one first. So square both sides. So this cancels out. Okay, now again you have to remember, now you square this, you're going to get x. You square that, you get plus. Square that, you get 4. Okay, and you need to get middle term, so you need to get plus 4 square root of x. So that's your 4, your method, right? So remember your O and I. If you just have that, you will be in Florida, even Hawaii, okay? Okay, anyway, so let's go and undo. Let's go and isolate this. So this cancels out. So you're going to get x plus 3 equal to 4 square root of x, okay? Then you got to square both sides. So square that, you get x squared. Square that, you get plus. Square that, you get 9. And the middle term is plus 6x, right? Again, remember these, right? Remember these, okay? If you have that, you are in the wrong place. You're in Florida, in the wrong state. Okay? Square that, you get 16. Square that, you get x. Again, that's how you help you to memorize it. Okay? Okay, so minus 16x, minus 16x. So you got x squared minus 10x plus 9 equal to 0. Do your factoring. So you need to get -1, -9. So minus 1, minus 9. So x equal to 1, x equal to 9. Now it's time to check answers. Okay. So let's check the 1 first. So it gets square root of 9 equal to 1 plus 2. Yes, this one's good. Let's go and check the 9. So you got square root of 2 times 9 plus 7 equal to square root of 9 plus 2. So square root of 25 equal to 3 plus 2. So this one checks out also. So this one is good too. And so that's it.